everyone, we're taking our first trip to Eternia on this channel, and we're taking a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics Filmation style Clawful figure from Mattel. Okay, let's take a look at packaging first. As with all of the figures in this Filmation style line, we've got the Castle Grayskull style slipcover that comes off, revealing the figure inside, and it's got that huge window box with the Castle Grayskull eyes on the top. We've got panels on the sides. We've got a little bit of artwork on the back featuring a Filmation style Clawful, and then of course the figure is front and center. I love this packaging style. It is resealable for one, which is great for people who want to take their figures out and then put them back, and it just looks a lot better than the old Motu Classic stuff. So let's pop this guy open and take a look. Okay, taking a look at this guy outside the package, at first glance, I really like this figure. He is very true to what he looked like in the show. So let's go over Sculpt. This is pretty normal for Motu Classic stuff. We've got heads on a ball, so it can swivel, looks all around. We've got a hinge and rotation at the shoulder. We've got bicep swivel. We've got a hinge at the elbow. And we've got rotation at the claws. You know, there's no other articulation there. He does have an ab crunch, but the armor is going to inhibit that. The armor is removable. I'm not going to take it off because it's kind of a pain to get back on at times. We've got pretty good swivel at the thigh. We've got knee joint, and we've got an ankle hinge. Not much else down there though. Sculpt wise, he looks great. I'm really pleased. There are a few little nitpicks. Well, one, maybe two, I guess, technically. The claws are my biggest point of contention. The right one is too open. The left one is too closed. And I'll get to what I mean by that in a minute. As far as paint goes, he's got a nice dark wash kind of all over the body to accentuate the muscles. We've got the yellow eyes with the black pupils. They look pretty good. Mine are both facing forward, which is nice. I can't really show you right now because this was a decision I made prior to starting this channel, but the teeth on mine, as I've seen with many others, were pink. So they clearly messed up the teeth in the factory, so I repainted them white myself, but that's apparently a very common issue. We've got the blue jewel. I've got a little bit of paint bleed, but not much, nothing to worry about. And I do have a little bit of paint bleed on the ankle here. Might be kind of hard to pick up though. It's red from the leg, is bled onto the orange on the boot. Besides that though, I really like the guy. I think he's pretty cool. He looks exactly like he should. So let's get into accessories and show you what he comes with. Now as far as accessories go, he's got two. We've got the mace, and it's kind of a gummy, rubbery plastic. He can't really hold it very well, at least not, you know, tightly, so I'll have to heat that claw up, and that's been a bit of an issue with some of these figures. See, it's just sort of sitting in there right now. He has no grip on it. The other accessory is the Horn of Evil, which is a little easier to get him to hold, but you got to position it right, and then you can, you know, get him to bring it up to his mouth. It was used in an episode with him and Trapjaw where they were going to use it on Castle Grayskull. I like this accessory a lot. I'm not sure I'm going to display him with it, but I like it a lot. It's got a nice bone look. It's got the bit of a wash on there. So, you know, nice accessories, at least in terms of what he needed to have. Like the horn. The mace is okay. I don't like the material it's made out of. My bigger issue is the fact that he can't hold either of these very well without some attention from, you know, whoever wants to display him. So let's take a quick comparison shot with this guy and the original Classics Clawful before we get into final thoughts. Okay, now obviously as far as comparisons go, these two guys almost don't look like the same character. So Filmation Clawful is what he looked like in the cartoon. Classics Clawful is what he looked like in the vintage toy line. So he was like half man, half crab or lobster or whatever he's supposed to be. So he's got a bigger claw for his right hand, and on the original Classics, it's spring-loaded. He doesn't have the Filmation Clawful has like the Skeletor kind of feet. The Classics Clawful does not. He's got these like kind of talon type things. So they're a very different type of figure. The maces are pretty similar though. This one is a harder plastic though. It doesn't bend. So it has, he has no issue holding that one, but that's not related to the weapon itself. You know, this guy looks more like a crab man. Filmation Clawful, I always thought he was more like a dinosaur. If not for the claws, that's what I would think anyway. He looks more like a dinosaur than like a half man, half crab type situation. But you know, I like him. I love the design of this one, but I always like the classics version better, just because I think it's a cooler idea. It looks a lot more like what you would expect a character named Clawful to look like. Okay, so overall, I do like this figure. I've been really happy with pretty much all of the Filmation lineup of Masters of the Universe Classics. There are some issues with him, you know, the claws and this gummy weapon. But overall, I like him. You know, I had to paint the teeth on mine, but that was a 30-second fix. It wasn't a big deal. But it's just little things like that that have kind of plagued this line as Matty Collector dies a slow death. That said, though, you know, I'm pleased to have him. He definitely looks really cool. Whether he looks like a crab or a lobster man to you is irrelevant. He's a cool looking figure, you know. So I'm pleased to have him in my collection. Glad to have the Horn of Evil. Maybe use that in a setup with him and Filmation Trapjaw. So, you know, that's it for this review. Stay tuned to more Toy Bro reviews, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time.